This is Back Roads of Illinois server to farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and the Midwest. Today's edition of Back Roads of Illinois. We were bringing you lasted for farming sources and information sponsored by AgriGold. This is the Back Roads of Illinois on today. We were joining with Terry Johnston from Farm Rescue for this planting season with the weather in the Midwest. Terry Johnston from Farm Rescue. The following with the weather in central U.S. and the Midwest, like in Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, and Kentucky. Otherwise, the situation is endless to help with our farmers in the Midwest. We were talking about it with Terry Johnston from Farm Rescue. Terry, how are you?
I'm doing great today, Caesar. Hope you're well also.
Terry, let's discuss about this year in the Midwest and Mid-Corn Belt with these tornadoes and some flooding in central Missouri and southern Illinois. Did you went out to help with these situations?
Well, there was a lot of bad weather and storm damage around the Midwest this spring, but actually, we were not called upon in many of those cases to help. I think maybe it was a case where the families didn't have their equipment destroyed, or the neighbors were able to come in and help, and so they didn't reach out to us. We did help uh, quite a few families in the states that we service in with planting, but most of them were health related issues, whether it was an illness or an injury, and so we did end up helping with a lot of families with planting, but it wasn't because of storm damage, I guess.
How about in Iowa and South Dakota?
Yeah, we helped several families in Iowa this year with planting, um, as well as Kansas and also up in the Dakotas. Yeah, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, I believe. We were up there planting a fair amount of wheat for some folks, and in Minnesota. I think those were the main states that we helped this spring with planting. It varies, sometimes we're over your way in Illinois, sometimes we're over in Nebraska. It just we go where we're needed and ask for help. So that's kind of the wrap up as far as where we're at, and we finished up up in the Northern Plains with planting a couple weeks ago. So right now we're now getting ready for haying season, both for baling hay as well as hauling hay to some of those folks who suffered with wildfires up in North Dakota.
In Missouri, it's really bad. Last week were a tornado in Kansas City and flooding in Independence, Missouri. Do you have any concerns about these situations? Where's flooding or any damage caused by tornado?
Well, flooding, it kind of depends. So um, we've had cases where flooding has destroyed like hay ground, hay crop, feed storage, and we've helped families. We've come in and helped haul in hay or help them move grain or whatever after floods. Tornadoes, of course, if they hit rural areas and farms, can do a lot of damage to equipment. And then that is also a case where we can bring our equipment in and help that family get the crop in, get it planted, or in some cases they happen in the summertime, and some of the harvest equipment can be destroyed, and then we can help with that too. But so far, we've not done much help with any of the weather so far this year. Thankfully, folks have not needed us, but we're always ready to help if needed. And Kentucky is actually one of the newer states. We have a new sponsor from Kentucky. Heaven Hill Distillery is has joined Farm Rescue as a partner. So we will be looking forward to helping Kentucky farmers, most likely starting this fall.
What is your planning to expand your organization for Kentucky and Missouri for the future over time by the weather situation?
Yeah, we've been slowly adding states. 2 years ago, we added Illinois. Last year, we added Wisconsin. This year, we do plan to add Kentucky, and certainly we do have other states on our radar as we can grow. We, of course, need sponsors and partners for that. It's very expensive to move into a new state, but we would love to expand into Missouri, as you mentioned, and certainly Indiana, Ohio, and other states as time allows. So as we can grow as an organization and keep our volunteer base strong and get partners to help fund our mission, we would love to continue to grow. Absolutely.
We hope. What what is your final thoughts about this growing season for growers in central US?
Well, I guess at this point, we're going to pray for rain. I know there's a lot of talk about a dry growing season, but everything is off to a good start. So we'll hope and pray for a good growing season and safety for our farm families. Uh, we don't like it when folks are ill or injured or get hurt or have suffer a disaster like a tornado. But we're here to help. Just remind folks that they can go to our website. It's www.farmrescue.org, and there they can volunteer. They can sign up for help. Uh, Even more importantly, they can refer a family to us if they would like, and of course, donate. So, just reminding folks again to always reach out to Farm Rescue, and we're always here to help if we can.
Thanks, Terry. I hope that things are looking good for this summer.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as always, Caesar, and I hope you have a great summer as well.
We've been talking with Terry Johnston from Farm Rescue on back roads of Illinois. Thanks to Terry Johnston from Farm Rescue for today. This been Back Roads of Illinois. I am Caesar Delgado. You have a great day.
Mhm.